Hello everyone, I'm Zry and decided to try the solo flawless Shattered Throne run this week, which I completed, but it was really hard, and I think a lot of people find it borderline impossible. That's why that achievement, the Seriously Never Again, is so rare, because a lot of people don't even know where to start at. When it comes to exotics, subclasses, normal weapons, and armor mods, especially. So I want to do this video for these people that want to try it the next time the Shadow Throne comes around, to give them some guidelines, play-by-play comparisons, and like what to do in which encounter. And I hope it will help you, and I'll try my best to explain everything in my full capability. And yeah. So when it comes to armor mods, the Taken Repurposing mod is really important because it gives you your entire grenade back when you destroy a Taken shield. That, in conjunction with taking armaments, is really good because taking armaments give you heavy ammo, and heavy ammo is really good, and you want to use heavy ammo whenever you get heavy ammo through taking armaments. When it comes to exotic armor pieces, you want to use the Karnstein armlets, Lunafaction boots, and transversive steps. I will let you know when you have to use these specific exotics. Because I used the Mountaintop Recluse Anarchy combination, I went for really generic submachine gun grenade launcher related armor perks like scavengers, loaders, and reserves. Resistance mods like Taken Barrier, Minor, Major, and Boss Resist are really good as well. So here we are in the first encounter, the map part, whatever you want to call it, the ingress, like it says in the top left. What I used is the bottom tree Voidwalker and also the Karstein armlets. What it lets you do is you consume a grenade to get Devourer. Devourer then gives you immediate healing whenever you kill ads or whatever, and that is really good to just stay alive and play it with time and all that. It refreshes every time you kill something, and it stays for 10 seconds whenever you don't kill anything. I use the Karstein armlets on top of that, just whenever my Devourer was not active and I would not have any energy back, any grenade energy or melee energy back, that I'll still have the ability to heal myself with a melee kill, which is the intrinsic perk of the Karstein armlets. I also have a bit of a strategy going on here, because whenever Devourer is procced, you get grenade energy back, and that, in conjunction with my enhanced Ashes to Acids helmet, gives me my super really quick whenever I use my grenade to kill a lot of ads, because it's really funny, you kill ads with the grenade to get grenade energy back. It's really stupid, but you gotta use what you gotta use, right? So what you want to do is you run around, get through the different bosses, and kill the small ads thrall enemies first. Then you take care of the hobgoblins, and also like the mini bosses in between, like the phalanxes and the captains, because they really hurt and are annoying. So take care of these, and then you kill the bosses. After that, you just rinse and repeat. Also, really just watch your step, because sometimes it can get really, really close, like the following clip. Yeah, that's the last one. The normal ones. Woo! If you don't know where the symbols are for the first encounter, just look up a Shattered Throne map, and there should be plenty of options to choose from. For the next encounter, I use 1k voices for the one Taken Captain, because it just works better, because the Taken Captain has a solar shield, and 1k voice just deals a lot of damage, and you'll get your heavy ammo back anyway because of taking armament, so that's really good. I also use a subtle calamity because it's a precision frame, so it pretty much one hits the phalanxes in the second part of this encounter. My role on the subtle calamity is rampage and explosive head, as well as a major spec, because it just kills stuff consistently over range, and that is really good. You want to kill stuff over range to not bring yourself in danger, because it'll get overwhelming in the second part of this encounter. Also a bow instead of a sniper rifle, because bows take less resources than a sniper rifle because they take primary ammo and not special ammo, and you want to preserve your special ammo pickups for your mountaintop, and you use a mountaintop to kill the knights because they are really tanky and take like 10 bow shots to kill but only like 2 mountaintop shots to kill, which is really nice. Also, for this encounter specifically, I used the Well of Radiance because it's just a safety measure and you don't need mobility or anything. And the knights and the taken captain can get really overwhelming, and you'll see me use it later in this encounter as well. But I switch it after anyway because I don't need it in the second part of the descent. But yeah, as I said, it's just a safety measure. Pop it whenever you're running low on health. Um, because it's a flawless run and you want to survive. Also, just for extra safety, I use the Karstein armlets in this encounter just to make sure I can survive whenever there's like a low tier ad that I can kill with my melee kill. But in general, you could just use whatever exotic you want to use. You could even run no exotics at all. Just make sure you run a Well of Radiance and you should be fine. For the second part of the Spire encounter, I immediately switched to top 3 Dawnblade because I want to build the super before I get to the Thrall room or the big Spirey Ogre room, just as a safety measure to escape whenever it gets really overwhelming and hairy. And this this encounter is just straightforward. You just take your time, kill the knights, kill the hobgoblins first with the bow, then the phalanxes, and then you take your time to kill the knights with the mountaintop and finish them off with the bow. Also, it really comes down to preference what exotics you want to use here for this encounter. You could either use Lunafaction boots and stand in the well to kill the knights with the mountaintop, or you could do what I did, switch to transversive steps to navigate more quickly and safely throughout the Spire encounter. For the Ogre Spire encounter, you want to make sure that you have your Dawnblade super ready just in case you miss a jump to then safeguard yourself with the super and the dash to get back to safety. When it comes to the exotics, I would just prefer to use transversive steps because you the main part of this encounter is that you jump around the spires and you want to navigate really safely and thoroughly and take your time, and that's why I use transversive steps. I mean, it'll kill the ogres quicker if you use Lunafaction Rift to kill them, but really just take your time and don't mess up with the jumps. Other than that, this encounter is pretty much straightforward. Avoid the big lights, take your time with the jumps, use your super if you need it, if you fall down, and kill the ogres, take your time, don't rush anything, and get to the safe spot at the end. And that's pretty much it. For the Thrall room, I went ahead and switched back to Karmstein armlets just for the safety measure, to get the healing whenever. Use a melee at the start for swift strike so you are a bit quicker, and because I did not fall down in the ogre encounter, I am free to use my super whenever I need it in this encounter. Now I'm just taking my time for whatever reason, but at the end I just decided to skip the big hole where the secret chest is located and just use my super, get there quicker, because I mean you take so long in like the full run anyway that you could just spare this time anyway and you'll not use the super later anyway. For the taken push thingies wall, you just want to take your time, transversive steps, and get the timing correctly to not get booped off. You could technically still use the Dawnblade, like the top 3 Dawnblade, if you've not used that before, if you were to be pushed off. But yeah, just take your time, and then after you get the wall done, switch to Well of Radiance and build the Well of Radiance while you kill the phalanxes right before the ogre encounter. Also, if you have enhanced ashes to assets here, as well as the taking armaments, it'll be really helpful to kill the big bunch of phalanxes at the top with your grenades to get super energy and heavy ammo for the final boss. After you kill the phalanxes, make sure you switch to Lunafaction boots and just wait until you have at least 80% or 90% or just full super. Just wait for that, and then you jump down and start the ogre encounter. And make sure you have the taken repurposing mod for the shields of the wizards. And what you want to do is you kill. You kill the ads to make sure you don't die because of the ads because they snipe, and you want to kill the shield of the wizard for the taken repurposing mod to proc. And whenever you traverse to the next wizard, you throw your healing nade down just to make sure you stay alive from all these snipers, the ogre that's shooting you, and the wizards. Make sure you stay away from the wizards because their attack is really weird and it hurts a lot. So just stay away and use a nade whenever you get it procced. And yeah, I'll just let it play out and just watch how I use the full synergy of my build here. So what you may have seen me use here are use the sniper shields as cover for the ogre and just like everything, just juke around from all damage sources, and also make sure you have your mount up like reloaded before you go to the next wizard, just to immediately kill at least one or two of the ads and proc massive arms to kill the shield even faster to get your grenade back faster. And as you saw, I did the first run with just the ad clear and getting the wizards low, and now I'm doing the second run, killing the wizards and getting the petitioner's mark times 4 to then dunk it and kill the boss. So after you kill the last wizard, you dunk the petitioner's mark, put your Well of Radiance down, kill the Axiom bolts. They will most likely kill you through your Well of Radiance. They are really potent. Like, yeah, they are priority. Then use your anarchy shots, then just lay in with mount up, and you should be fine. Always switch back to recluse to kill the Axiom bolts because they are the priority, and then boss DPS. For the jumping puzzle, you could say, that leads to the final boss, just put back on transversive steps, and you could even try a top 3 Dawnblade if you're really insecure about falling down. I personally did not use it because I was really confident that I'll be able to make all the jumps, but yeah, transversive steps definitely, and top 3 Dawnblade if necessary. After you kill the captains in this part of the jumping puzzle, there's the other thrall room where a lot of thralls spawn, but you don't get the slowness. So this is the part where I failed 2 flawless runs because I went outside into the push wall, and I did not get pushed off. I just like did weird stuff, and here is where you'd use either the top 3 Dawnblade super to get across the secret chest gap, or use the charge grenade momentum preserving tech from middle 3 Dawnblade, aka Well of Radiance, which I did. And I did a few runs to try and master that tech, and it's really down for it's really just for preference what you want to use and how secure you feel doing the grenade tech. After you went up the elevator to get to the final boss, make sure you have Well of Radiance ready. If you don't, just wait it out. Just wait for your super. Make sure you have Lunafaction boots equipped. Maybe get like an unflinching grenade aim on your chest piece if you have that. Taking armaments as well because of the taking thrall that will spawn during boss DPS. And what I did was a bit risky because I went for a empowered melee, and that almost killed me because the Abyssal Champions, they deal a lot of damage, and they took off half HP of me, and yeah, I'll just play it out. I'll just let the DPS phase play out. Very risky, but fucking go, boys. Let's not die now. Holy freak. So I did a few mistakes in the final boss fight that you can do. You can definitely do better. So the empowering, I don't think that's really necessary. It just puts you in unnecessary risk, and you'll kill the bosses anyway. Also, what a friend of mine told me is make sure you kill the thrall first before you pick up the final thought buff, because you see the flinch is absolutely insane, and I used a few anarchy shots to clear the ads in front of me, but I think if you'd clear out the ads, you'd get less flinch, and you'd also not almost die like I did here in the end. So. Whew. Come on. Woo! Let's go! Woo! Holy sh... Woo! Ah! Bro! Let's go, boys!